Welcome, Screen Fiend fans. I don't know why things are freezing. But welcome, welcome, and welcome. What we're going to do here is take you guys through the gallon of emotions that has been flowing through the world today, and the fact that many people don't understand the comic world. They just don't. What's up, Richie? Says morning over there. Well, good morning, good night to some. But let's speak on it, because it needs to be said. The DC world is going through a massive change. What's up, Mr. Hogan's? Make sure you let me know what your cousins think, because I'm interested to know. Because these are the things that we were told. We need to know. Because I know she heard something. She knows something. Here's the thing. DC Comics is not finna be bought by Marvel. That's not finna happen. Warner Brothers own that ship. Why would in the world would they part away from something that is definitely bringing and garnishing revenue such as it is right now? Now, here's the situation. DC is owned by Warner Brothers. They would never let that fall into their hands. Thanks, Mr. Sledge. I appreciate that. Cool. So anyway, the way this is going is they have all these great people who work there in DC, and all of these changes that should have happened years ago that people were screaming at them to get done. The problem that DC has is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers always hinder the process that DC is making. DC will have a great script, everything set up. Warner Brothers would come in and intervene and ruin everything. They would screw it up, bring in another outside writer that works for Warner Brothers and screw up the entire script. A guy who barely knows anything about comics, but Warner Brother knows him. He's a great script writer. Trust me. Then he comes in there, screws up the story, don't know anything about the comic world. The fans end up mad and hating DC because of it. They don't hate Warner Brothers, they end up hating DC. He said the new 52 sucked. Well, here's the thing. There's major changes that's going to be coming to the film world with this new Batman era. Now, from what I've been told, the Batman is the series is going to start 3 new Batman movies, in which is going to entwine with Margie, what's her name? Robbie, who's playing Margaret Robbie, who plays Catwoman. Tell me something I don't know, Richie. Now that she's playing, she don't play Catwoman. She's play Harley Quinn, Margaret Robbie. There you go. She's gonna be in a Batman movie. They're gonna do an interaction film where they're trying to get Jared Leto down the road to come back to reprise his role as the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is the original Joker. The Joker that is played by Jared Leto. They're going to try to have it where the both of them are in the same film. This is the Jason Todd version of the Joker. And we're going to get that reveal down the road. So it might not be, and I'm not saying he might come back to play the role. I'm just saying it would be nice if he did. But that version of the Joker is going to run into the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker. And you're going to see that he created him. That's not the real Joker. That's actually Robin, the story of Robin. And you might see that played out in the movie The Batman, which it should be a back telling story of what happened. In the backstory that was being told through Batman versus Superman of what happened to Robin when you saw Robin uniform up there. That Joker is actually Jason Todd, who used to be Robin, but was turned into a version of the Joker by going through electric shock and torture. And you will see that Joaquin Phoenix character is the real Joker. All of this has been worked out, and they've done that before. Like they've done these type of things before to put these little Easter eggs in there. Well, they're trying their hardest. It's hard because you got too many moving parts. You don't have any stability. You have actors moving around. You have different people who are producing it. You got Margaret Robbie who came in and she wanted to be a producer of the Harley Quinn movie, and she over feminized the movie. And to me, it was like, dude, this is not Bombshell. Why? Okay, we understand you're in a time's up Me Too zone, but we don't need a 10K man stomp, in doggone Birds of Prey. We understand how this works. It's just over no masculinity was in the film whatsoever. The only person who was masculine was basically had a man crush on his boss and Victor Sass. And what they did to Victor Sass' character was ridiculous. They just made him basically somebody who was in denial of his feelings, basically. It's just. Well, no, it's the thing is they're ready to move on. Like the new Superman movie is gonna be dark. Like it's gonna be light, it's gonna have some comedy, and then it's gonna get dark at the end. And it's gonna blend in with Shazam. That's what they want to do, blend Superman into the Shazam series. So Black Adam is gonna be around, and you're gonna see how Black Adam ended up becoming who he became, and how they're going to blend that into the Shazam series, because Shazam was successful. Why? Because they had the right person to play Shazam. So make Shazam funny. Make a comedy out of Shazam instead of making it a serious movie. Even though it has some serious moments in there, it was mostly silly. The Rock is playing Black Adam. Don't you know The Rock is the reason all this is happening? The Rock produced Shazam because he's getting ready to. It was supposed to be The Rock was supposed to make an appearance in Shazam. They decided to cut that out and make a separate movie. And Shazam 2 It was when Black Adam and Shazam was supposed to meet up and fight. They decided, since Shazam was so successful, let's hold off on making Shazam 2 right now. Let's go ahead and put in Black Adam, make it its own movie. Now we know what we're doing. We can make the Black Adam movie now, and then we can make the merger movie. So we got more money, more money, more money. So here's the other thing they had out. Brainiac is going to be the villain. One of the main villains that's going to come to Earth, and Superman's going to have to fight. Superman's going to have his own movie outside of Shazam 2, in which he ends up fighting Brainiac. And at the end, yeah, they got a Superman trilogy all set up. And the reason why Superman movies hasn't been successful in today's time is because they don't know what they're doing. Superman was a great comic and it sold because he fought other people in other worlds. Okay, here they still got him fighting Lex Luthor, battling over land. Oh, thanks, Kev. I appreciate that. They still got him fighting over land deals. How to stop Lex Luthor. He's too powerful. Nothing on Earth can harm Superman. So why in the world do y'all keep him fighting Lex Luthor and keeping him on earthly bounds? It's like, look, Superman has fought many villains from outer worlds. Man of Steel was okay. It wasn't great. I actually liked the first Superman and liked the direction that Bryan Singer was taking them down. Bryan Singer gave them a movie. Superman Returns, when they did that one, that was more of a movie, bringing in Superboy the way they did. Superboy was going to grow up with the powers. Remember, Superboy, he could touch kryptonite. There's nothing wrong with kryptonite. His weakness is lead. Something Superman he has a hard time seeing through, but it doesn't bother him. Superboy, kryptonite is his weakness. But for his son, Superboy, lead is his weakness. Now, Superman's son, as you can see, he's allergic. He got all these allergies and everything. But once he gets past all his emotion is high and everything else, he gets his power. So it comes and goes. He can't control it. No, I'm talking about Superman Returns. Then at the end, Superman finds out that Lois Lane has his child. So that becomes Superboy. And the stage was set for that. Then they erase all the good things Superman Return does. And they come back with, because Superman Returns was basically everything that was left out of Superman, the original movie, they put into that movie. All the cut Brando scenes, they put in Superman Returns to make it connect with Superman 1 and 2. They cut out 3 and 4 and said, no, we're going to continue after that. And after the Zod and everything that happened there, Superman went to go investigate to see if there were more people like him on Earth. The only problem that they had, that Warner Brothers had, was the fact that they didn't have enough merchandise to sell. They need bad guy villain trucks. They need all these different merchandise things that they could sell with Superman. So there needed to be super villains. There needed to be all these different artifacts. Superman needs a car. He needs this. This is why Batman memorabilia sold. So they didn't make all of their money back with Superman Returns. They made good money, but not what they thought they were going to get out of it. Because one, it wasn't a movie for kids. There were no real kid scenes in Superman Returns. So it was more of a story. It was more of an adult Superman movie. Kids was in there kind of bored, like, when is Superman gonna fight, Mom? So when Man of Steel came, you got an overload of action. It was unnecessary action. Now, the way it was done in the beginning, how they kept showing clips of his life, how he was growing up with these powers, that was the best parts of the Man of Steel to me. Showing him on his verge before he became the Superman. You know, that was interesting. Everything once he became Superman to me just became just ridiculous. um, Michael, what's his name? Michael, keep forgetting his name. His name is Michael something, but he's a serious actor, and everything he plays the same kind of way. Michael Shannon. He plays the same role in everything he does. Very serious. And as Zod, he was over the top serious. Over the top as General Zod. Great theater actor, but very over the top playing Zod. Of course, we saw what LeBron said. He ain't gonna admit he wasn't there. He know he wasn't there. Um, but see, this is what he wants to keep the mystery and everything go. Over the top, how? Michael Shannon, you won't ever find me. You won't ever. Everything was just so anger and passion. Believe me, go watch how Zod was portrayed back in the 80s. That's how it's done. Wasn't out of like anger. It was almost a narcissistic, twisted personality that he felt he was a general and he ran things like a general. His everyone was his subjects. They should bow. He should be in charge. It was an entitlement, which made him arrogant. So the way he portrayed himself, like he wouldn't dare throw himself into battle and lead out that way. He would fight from a strategic position, letting his subjects fight for him as he walks up. And he was cerebral and smart, too smart for his own good. Yes. Come to me, son of Jarrell. Kneel before Zod. Son of Jarrell. We was beginning to think you were a coward. Well, now you can think of letting you join our ranks and you can join us. I'll never join you. Well, die as you deserve to. Come, the three of us will crush the son of our jailer. It was all about passion. Michael Shannon's passion was fueled by a anger, like he's been wronged. He took the wrong approach, I felt, to the Zod character. But I did like Jarrell being around longer in the Man of Steel, and having his father being played by Russell Crowe, playing his dad was great. Then Kevin Costner playing his Earth dad. Excellent casting. So Man of Steel was never bad. Like, I have my original Man of Steel ticket. I have a special Superman ticket to go see that. I still got it somewhere in here. I like kept it in a collector's box. You didn't like Pa Kent writing. It was Kevin Costner. It was Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner all over again. So anyway, they want Brainiac. Brainiac is what they want in there. And DC has a script for Flashpoint. They had the movie Flashpoint. And it's all about the Flash ruining everything. Yep, he ended up damaging and going back in time, trying to save his mom, and messes up everything and screws up Flashpoint. Batman is played by Thomas Wayne. Bruce Wayne dies in the alley, and Thomas Wayne ends up becoming Batman. And the mom goes insane and she becomes the Joker. So Thomas Wayne is hunting his wife, but he can never kill her. And he keeps putting her in the insane asylum because she becomes the Joker. No, that's Flashpoint. That's an excellent movie. I mean, it's based off the comic. That happens in the comic. Thomas Wayne became Batman. It became an alternate world because Flash ended up going back and making Flashpoint, and everything was screwed up and everything was twisted and bent all around. So Thomas Wayne, he was a evil Batman. He was way worse. He was a Batman murdering people because he was mad that his wife was the Joker, and he so mad about that he just taking it out on everybody because his son Bruce was murdered. So the Flash has to tell him that Bruce is alive in another alternate universe, to bring peace to him. So he ends up finding a way to bring Bruce, the adult Batman from the real world, from that timeline he was in, to meet his father. And they talked and they were able to go in and save the mother, to try to save the Joker, which was his mom, who ended up falling off of a roof, and I think she died and she committed suicide laughing like the Joker. It was crazy. That was the craziest comic ever. Everything was screwed up. They did it here in the television show. They did Flashpoint. They switched everything around. The Arrow ended up having a daughter. They had a son, and they ended up having a daughter. And it just stayed that way. They couldn't risk going back changing things. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, who played Thomas Wayne in the Batman versus Superman movie, was going to reprise his role as Thomas Wayne, and said he would love to do it. He's like, he heard about it. They talked about doing it, and he's like, he's aboard. If they want to do it, he's ready. Well, they saw him in The Comedian, and a lot of people didn't know he was in a bodysuit because everybody thought he was a big, huskier guy because they remember him as the comedian in The Watchmen. They were like, "Oh, he was great as the comedian in The Watchmen." I was like, "Yeah, he was," but that was a bodysuit. That wasn't really him. So a lot of people, when they brought him in the audition, they was like, "Can you bulk up?" Like he lost a lot of weight. It was like, no, he really didn't. He was never really that big. Oh, the animated Teen Titans was great. It was hilarious. I watched that the other day. Teen Titans is hilarious. And Stan Lee is in it. They were like, how did they get Stan Lee to be in Teen Titans? Marvel's gonna sue him. No, they can't. They couldn't sue him because he owned those characters too. He was a part of most of those characters too, even though that they are some of them in DC. He's a comic book guy. Plus, he's not owned by Marvel. Now, I wanted them to continue the Big Hero 6. That should have been continued. That was a great movie. And it's based off a great television series, and they didn't continue it. I'm upset about that. Yeah, so they're bringing in Brainiac, and then Darkseid is coming at the end of the Brainiac movie with Superman. So Superman and Brainiac is going to start off fighting. Then they're going to end up having Darkseid in these last two movies with Superman. It's going to be crazy the way they got the Superman the trilogy set up. If they just go ahead and do it, they're going to make a killing with that. Brainiac versus Superman. He convinces Superman that the people are not worth saving. He confuses Superman. He makes himself appear as another. He makes himself appear as another person from Krypton, and he's being portraying himself as another hero. And we basically just seen this with Spider-Man. Spider-Man, what they did for Mysterio, what Mysterio makes Spider-Man believes he's from another dimension. This is what Brainiac does. Brainiac convinces Superman that he is from Krypton and he's from this planet, and he came here to help his friend or whatever, his fellow Kryptonian. Next thing you know, Superman, he's like, you know what? You can go and take a vacation, go and search the universe and see if there's others out there. We're scattered all around out there. Just go. So Superman leaves, and he basically, when he left, Brainiac enslaves the world. As soon as Superman leaves and everything in his hands, Brainiac enslaves the entire world. So when Superman comes back, he convinces Superman, like, look, these people are supposed to worship us. They don't deserve your love and support. And he was like, oh no. And this is not, I gotta stop you and this and that. And Brainiac is like too powerful. So he knows Superman's weakness. He's like, well, if you don't, I'll kill these innocent people over here and I'll let them die. If you intervene. So he don't want to die, let him die so he don't. Superman has a son with Lois. I mean, I don't even know if it was with Lois or was it Lana. I don't know, but I don't remember the script how it's always word for word. But Superboy is there, and he threatens to kill him if Superman don't do his biddings. So he sends Superman out to burn up cities, everything. Brainiac's just sitting there. Then another hero that no one names comes in and helps him and explains to him who Brainiac really is and how he's responsible for the demise of Krypton. And it wasn't the Kryptonians, it was actually Brainiac. So Superman finds all of this out, and it teaches him a strategy to take down Brainiac. He has to outthink Brainiac. And at the very end, Darkseid is coming. And Brainiac tells him, "Oh, you think that's it? You think this is a chess game between me and you? He's coming." And Darkseid is coming. And that's how the like end sequence ends, and everybody's like in suspense, wondering what's gonna happen next. Then Brainiac comes. I mean, Darkseid comes with an army, tears everything up. The whole second Superman is him trying to save Earth from Brainiac. I mean, from Darkseid. Then Shazam, other people show up, Wonder Woman, help out Superman near the end as Darkseid starts his plague off. He sets up base on Mars. Then he brings it another army on the moon. And then he just attacks him from the areas of the planets. They're just coming on each side. And he's telling him, you can't be everywhere at once. You're just one person. I'm a god. So Darkseid makes Superman his slave, puts him in a field of work, marches him around the town, everything, show the public, this is your champion. He's nothing. So actually, these are in the comics. So Avengers is actually copying off of them. Oh yeah, everyone had to team up to fight him. Wonder Woman came. They had the Green Lantern. The Green Lantern showed up, and he brought the Green Lantern Corps. And then they all came in and started fighting. The Amazonians showed up. They left their island to go fight Darkseid because that was the ultimate evil. Well, Darkseid was going to suck life out of the planet and turn it into and just morph it into his world. They tried to do some of that in the Batman versus Superman or the Justice League movie or whatever that was. They tried to do that when you start seeing the world change and all that stuff with the chemical with the mother boxes. That's what Darkseid's doing with his power that he has. He's changing the world into his planet, so which is draining the world of everything. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it turns out. I'm all for it. What y'all think? Thanks for your time. I'm out.